What's up, guys? Emser Knows Hoops back today with another video. And today, I'm not really going to analyze any team or player, but I am instead going to be discussing the league as a whole. As this video's title might tell you, I think this regular season is honestly one of the best we've seen in years. Like maybe 2016, or even a little bit before that. To be honest, this season is just so entertaining because there's just so much parity. And as the years gone on, I feel like it's legitimate parody. I'm not going to lie to you guys. Going into the most of the season, I thought a lot of the parody was more so teams like the Warriors being underwhelming versus all the other teams actually being competitive. But as the time's gone on, and teams like the Timberwolves or the Pelicans or the Thunder have really made these nice little runs, really made me come to realize that the competition in the league is legitimate. And guys, as always, before we continue into this topic, I hope you guys could leave a like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you guys want to see next. The playoffs and play-in are right around the corner, and my content will definitely be going up in quantity and hopefully quality, obviously, as we get closer to that time of the year. So, guys, this regular season to me has been so meaningful because of all the new looks we've seen, too. We've had the Gobert Timberwolves, the DeJounte Murray Hawks, the Donovan Mitchell Cavaliers. And seeing all these teams really make their little strides or their pushes or their struggles have just made it even more to be invested into. When we see Chris Middleton return to the Bucks, or we see teams like the Celtics get Robert Williams back, and we watch some of these more marquee matchups in the regular season, it just makes you more and more excited for the playoffs and the postseason to truly come to realize what exactly is going to happen at the end of this season. And I think that's what makes it so great. And seeing teams like the Lakers be able to turn their season around, or the Clippers to finally click and get it together, and to see that the Suns with this new squad, like guys, I think this season's so great just because it's so different. Usually by this point in the season, we kind of have an idea of what everybody is. And in some ways, we still somewhat do. Don't get me twisted. I understand we know, for the most part, the top three in the East and the West are pretty much locked at this point. But what I find so fun and so interesting is just that everything below it is just so unexpected. And honestly, you just never know what's going to happen. Are a team like the Knicks, who have lost Julius Randle for the next couple of weeks, going to fall out of their spot in the standings? Our team like the Miami Heat, who have struggled all year, going to kick it up and get their way out of the play-in? Or the Brooklyn Nets going to struggle in their last 4 or 5 games and fall out too? It's all of those questions that make you so invested this late in the year. Again, I'm not going to lie. I think by this point in the season last year, I had gotten bored of the regular season. I was just like, okay, let's just cruise. It's playoff time. But now that these games are more and more meaningful, and for example, this Lakers game just last night, as you're seeing their highlights, put them in the 7th seed. If they lost this game and other teams had won, and I believe most of them had, they would have ended up going to the 10th seed. That is huge implications for a team like the Lakers having to play 2 games in the play-in versus all you got to do is win 1. And that, I think, is what's just been so fun about this year, is that the implications of these games actually hold weight. I think this is the one season where we can truly see that the play-in has been worth it. That it hasn't just been very clearly, this is money and let's just make more of it. This just shows there's legitimate parity enough to the point of where these teams deserve a chance to see if they're in the playoffs. And then, at the same time, the one negative of the season, because I'm not going to sit here and just say that this is a perfect regular season. Obviously, we have injuries, but I'm not going to waste time on that. People get hurt every season, and that would just be disingenuous to attribute to this year. But I would say the one thing that kind of stinks has been the disappointment from some teams. So what are the perfect examples of that? Well, we're watching the highlights of one of those teams right now in the Toronto Raptors, who many people thought were at least just going to be a solid 6 to 5 seed, maybe a little below, but not at the point where they are right now. My Chicago Bulls, we have, of course, made a video on that, and how I thought they would at least be a solid 5 to 4 seed, depending on how we were last year, and now we're at the 10 seed. And for a good stretch of this season, we were very much so struggling to get to that point of being a play-in team. which I was secretly in my Discord, which, by the way, go ahead and join that in the description, was hoping that we would join the Victor Wembanyama train out of just pure spite of how the season had been going. Or you have, of course, teams like the Warriors and the Mavericks, who honestly have just been underwhelming. But I think with them getting Wiggins back, that's just going to be so interesting. And now these last few games for the Mavericks mean everything. Because if they lose too many of these games, they're not even in the play-in. And we will have seen a team with Luka Doncic go from the Western Conference Finals to out of the play-in entirely, which will just hold even bigger storylines and implications for the next season. So as always, guys, this is actually just a super fun topic to talk about. I wonder what you guys think of this regular season. Do you think that things like this MVP race that have been super close have made the season even better? Do you think the way that the parity's been in the league is meaningful? So as always, guys, this is Mr. Knows Hoops. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, subscribe. As always, guys, I love you all for your support. Let's get to 500 subs before the beginning of May. So as always, guys, thank you all so much. Have a good one, guys. Peace out.